Dolphins Tyreek Hill receives important injury update. Things might not be positive for Miami Dolphins receiver Tyreek Hill in regards to his Madden rating, but he has shown signs of doing one thing better. However, he received an important injury update that has kept him out of practice, according to a post on X by David Furwans. Dolphins WR Tyreek Hill is dealing with an oblique injury. Coach Mike McDaniel revealed this morning ahead of joint practice with the Bears. Hill is out on the practice field but is not in pads. That's not the best of things for a Dolphins team that enters the 2025 season with tons of question marks. Dolphins WR Tyreek Hill fighting through issues. Not only is Hill dealing with a physical setback, but he's also trying to mend fences with teammates. The problem arose when Hill said he wanted out of Miami earlier this year, according to PalmBeachPost.com. "I was very direct with him," Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel said. "He was very honest. It was great terms that we were discussing. It's not acceptable to leave the game, and it won't be tolerated in the future. I wouldn't say there's necessarily anything to fix. We needed to clear the air." Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa said he's trying to work on the relationship between the two players. "Sure, I would say we're still continuing to do that," Tagovailoa said. "But it's not just with me. It's with a lot of the guys." McDaniel said he likes that his star players are working together for the team. "These are people that are working on the relationship," McDaniel said. "I think the power in that is both of the players. Like most relationships, you learn and you grow. And when you invest, you go through whatever. But the relationship becomes more real. I thought it was a maturation or a graduation of Tua as the leader of the team. And also, I think it speaks to how healthy they are because there haven't been that many opportunities for the public to see them interact. But as time passes, you'll see a more connected relationship and really not hiding anything." The Miami Dolphins practice field was buzzing like a beehive on a Florida summer afternoon. Players sprinted, coaches barked instructions, and fans pressed against the fence hoping for a glimpse of their heroes. But all eyes, every single one, were fixed on a single man standing near the sideline in bright aqua shorts and a hoodie pulled over his head, Tyreek Hill. For the past week, Hill's absence from drills had been the subject of endless speculation. Whispers swirled. Some said it was precautionary, others feared a lingering hamstring strain. In Miami, the idea of starting the season without their all-pro wide receiver was as unthinkable as the beach without waves. Then, on this particular Friday, the air shifted. A team staffer emerged from the Dolphins training facility holding a clipboard, walked straight to head coach Mike McDaniel, and whispered something in his ear. McDaniel's lips curved into a knowing grin, the kind that said good news. Seconds later, reporters' phones buzzed with push notifications. The headline was simple, yet electric. Tyreek Hill receives positive injury update, expected back to practice next week. The locker room reacts. Inside the Dolphins' locker room, the atmosphere changed immediately. Tua Tagovailoa, who had been quietly taping his wrists, looked up and chuckled. "Man," he said to a group of teammates, "that's the fastest route Tyreek's run all week, straight to the good news." Jalen Waddle, Hill's partner in crime on the field, leaned against his locker and shook his head. "I knew he was good. Cheetah doesn't slow down unless they make him. And even then, he's still moving at 4.2 speed. For a team built on speed, the thought of entering Week 1 without their offensive centerpiece had been a low-grade ache." Hill wasn't just another receiver. He was the gravitational force around which Miami's offense orbited. Defensive coordinators had to account for him on every snap, opening lanes for Waddle, Raheem Mostert, and even Tua's deep ball. The fans' collective sigh. At a sports bar 2 blocks from Hard Rock Stadium, Dolphins fans erupted when the news broke on the flat-screen TVs above the counter. "Finally," one fan shouted, slapping his buddy on the back. "I was already planning to start my fantasy season without him. Now my team's dangerous again." A woman in a vintage Dan Marino jersey grinned over her margarita. "Now we can focus on beating Buffalo instead of worrying about injuries." For Miami's fan base, this wasn't just an update. It was permission to dream again. The AFC East race was already a powder keg with the Bills, Jets, and Dolphins all eyeing supremacy. With Hill healthy, the Dolphins could stretch the field and test the limits of every defense they faced. Tyreek's message. Not long after the news dropped, Hill himself broke his silence on social media. In a video posted to Instagram, he sat in the passenger seat of a car, sunglasses on, seatbelt strapped, and a wide smile on his face. "Y'all been worried, huh?" he teased, chuckling. Man, I'm good. Real good. Little tune-up, that's all. Cheetah's back next week, get ready. The comments section exploded. Dolphins teammates dropped flame emojis. Fans spammed dolphin and cheetah icons. Even Patrick Mahomes chimed in with a goat symbol. What this means for Miami. The Dolphins' offense is predicated on fear. Fear of Tyreek Hill breaking loose for a 70-yard touchdown before defenders even realize the ball has been snapped. Without him, Miami's scheme loses its sharpest weapon. With him, every route combination becomes a chess match, every snap a potential highlight. Coach McDaniel addressed the media later that afternoon. We've been smart with Tyreek's workload. We're not chasing headlines in August, we're chasing wins in January. And to do that, we need him at 100%. That's where he's headed. It was the kind of calculated, careful optimism that reminded everyone McDaniel wasn't just an offensive guru. He was a strategist with the long game in mind. A glimpse of the bigger picture. Hill's positive injury update came at a crucial moment in the Dolphins' preseason. The offensive line had been shaky in drills. Tua was working on his release timing, and Waddle had taken a light practice schedule himself. A healthy Tyreek meant the offense could focus on building chemistry instead of patching holes. NFL analysts were quick to adjust their preseason power rankings. One morning show host put it bluntly, if Tyreek's right, Miami's the fastest offense in the league. Period. They can beat you in the air, on the ground, and before you even blink. Looking ahead. Next week's practice sessions are now set to feel like mini festivals for Dolphins fans. Training camp tickets sold online began to vanish within hours of the announcement. Everyone wanted to see the cheetah back in full stride. Those impossible, gazelle-like sprints that seem to defy human mechanics. But Tyreek Hill's return isn't just about spectacle. It's about momentum. The Dolphins' first 3 games of the regular season are a gauntlet. An away opener against the Chargers, a division clash with the Patriots, and a home showdown with the Bills. In a crowded AFC playoff race, a hot start could mean everything. And with Hill back on the field, that hot start feels within reach.